Hey everybody, welcome to the replay. It is Emery out here in the baby goat pen, and it is a beautiful morning out here. So I wanted to share it with you guys. So out in this pen, we have some of our young Nigerians. This is the group that has access to the grassy pen. Right now we have a few other groups in here. These guys are typically the younger groups over here, but this is the older group out here. And in this pen we've got some of our kids like Mary Poppins and Wreck-It Ralph, a few others out here. I'd have to see them to remember who's out here, but that's Mary Poppins and maybe Madagascar there. And then over here we've got Ella and Wreck-It Ralph and Enchanted, Lethal Weapon, Yaba, Distress, and Intrepid. No. I'm totally blanking on her name right now. I'm sure it will come back to me. This little black one in the front with the pretty white marks on her face. Anyway. So this is their pen out here. And this is where they get to spend their morning. So that's what these guys are doing here. Over in the next pen over, we've got milking going on. So the Alpine girls are getting milked for the morning. Looks like Ashton just started. So these are our girls over here. Good morning, Sherry, and good morning, Chad. So these are the Alpine girls over here, getting in the process of waiting to be milked. You can see all their udders are full and ready to be milked. Zelina, you want to come say hi? So Zelina right now is our star producer. She'll produce well over a gallon a day, probably close to 2 gallons of milk a day. So this is Zelina here. She's also one of our older does in the pen. Some of our other older does. Teal here is pretty old. Felicity here, also very old. Where are some of the other old ones? Tappan Z. Oh, she's sitting down in the back over there. So those are some of our older girls. Barbara says, good morning, everyone. And Judah asks, what's your favorite caramel flavor? My favorite caramel flavor, okay, so I'm going to be kind of picky here because I don't do anything just super basic. My favorite caramel flavor fresh out of the pot is the chocolate caramel. It's very reminiscent of like hot fudge when it comes right out of the pot. But once it cools down and is room temperature, then my favorite is the sea salt. But it is hard to beat, which is typically how I get it. I get the scraps out of the pot. And so the chocolate is fantastic straight out of the pot. The sea salt, however, as soon as it's room temperature, the sea salt is pretty hard to beat. But I was also, we did a vanilla rum at one point, and that was pretty awesome too. So that's what's happening here. These girls are all getting milked. I'm going to show you guys Tappan Z. That's Tappan Z there, the white one in the front. So, yep. These girls are all waiting to get milked here, as you can see Zelina's udder. She's got a big old udder. All right, so that's what's happening in that pen. Over here, I'll show you the pregnant Nigerians that we're expecting to deliver within the next week. That's this pen. So these are the pregnant Nigerians. Hey girls. So this would be all our pregnant mamas. We've got Mallory here in the front. Then we've got Margaret. Then Yorkshire, Iris, Laughter, Entangle, Entwine, and all the way in the back is Lantern. And these girls all have the potential to be pregnant. We don't know which ones are actually pregnant. Ashton does not believe that Yorkshire is pregnant, but she thinks that all the others are pregnant. Or maybe she thinks Iris may not be pregnant as well. So those two might not be pregnant. But the rest should be pregnant. So that's these girls here. Next pen over, we have got these are the mamas that just weaned all of their babies. So these are the moms that I was just in that pen with. Like Revelation here is Wreck-It Ralph's mom, and Yarrow is Yaba's mom. Ellen Way is Ella's mom. So that's what this pen is. Then we come to our Alpines. These are our Alpine babies from this year. And they're loud. But these girls are just a few months old. These guys were born in February and March. So this is Daiquiri here. This is Venetia. This is Faya. Slepton. Pilates. Xandra D. Heartland. Vignay. Iconic. Watch out, girls. I'm gonna come over. Oops. This is Tiki Bird, Farley. So that's that pen. In this pen, we've got some of our hand milkers. So that would be like Viola, Nestle, and Violetta. Those are the three hand milkers right now. Out here, we've got our bucks. Hey. Watch out, girls. Who names goats? So we all name the goats. We have... Hey, stay down, Vignay. We have a naming system that we use. And so they get the first letter from their mother. And then they get the first vowel from their birth order. So like Xandra D, we know her mother, I know her mom is Zelina, so she got the Z from Zelina, and then she's the firstborn, so she is ZA, so we named her Xandra D, and we all agreed that that was a good name, and so that's what she ended up being named. Heartland's another firstborn, Pilates is a third, Vignay is a third, Venetia's a second-born. There's Venetia. So that's kind of the way that we do that. So these are the bucks here. We've got, you can see the two different breeds we have. Most of these in here are Nigerians. We do have 3 Alpines in here. This would be, hey, Vinay, you need to not jump on me. This would be, I think this one is Serene, and that's Fight Club and Venturous, but this might be Venturous and that might be Serene. I would need them both to stand up next to each other. So that's the bucks out there. Do we ever reuse names? We do not really reuse names. We have done a few with significantly different spelling, but we try very hard to not reuse names. We do register all of our goats, so we can't reuse names. We can't fully reuse names, but as long as they have a different father, then they have a different base code, so they get the initials from their father as like a pre-name. So for instance, Varsity's full name would have been ZAM Varsity, and she got the ZAM from her father. Hey, you need to not jump. Didn't you all have a buck named Steven? Vignay, I'm gonna have to take you away and put you in a pen if you keep jumping. So, when goats jump on you, what you need to do is no. Really? You're gonna go for that? So, you just pop them right there on the nose. If you can't like put pressure on the top of their head or whack them on the top of the head or anything, because that helps train them to butt and stuff. So we avoid that. So Vignay likes to sneak up behind you and then jump on your back. She's a troublemaker. Sorry. Do you ever use names? Didn't you all have a buck named Steven? Yes, we did have a buck named Steven. So these would only be, we do not have Steven anymore, but these would not be all of our bucks. The other bucks are out in the big barn. So we do have other bucks than just these 3. But this is the majority of our Alpine or Nigerian Dwarf bucks are here in this pen. This pen we have bucklings. Nigerian Dwarf bucklings. They can't be in with the girls, so that's why they're in here, because we can't keep them with the girls. I can't wait for the new goat milk show. Yes, I am so excited for that. It's going to be awesome. Oops. Hey, look. We have an out-of-season persimmon. This is a persimmon tree here. That's actually all 3 of these are persimmons. 1, 2, and 3. All 3 persimmon trees. Fun fact about persimmon trees, some of them are males, like this one. This is a male persimmon tree. It will not produce any fruit. And this one is a female persimmon tree, so it will produce fruit. This one looks like a male. But so that's the female there. And then we've got the dogs over here. So this is Percival. Yes. So this is Percival. And that's Castle. And then over here we've got, this is Kara. This is Kara, and this is Cagney. And they have this pen here, which helps keep anything that comes from the woods. It helps keep all of them from coming into the chicken pen, which is right here, where we also have our bees. So there's one of the beehives. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's pretty active right now. The back one is. It's got quite a few bees crawling up out of it. And then there's a third one there. So we got those two and that one there. So this is the chicken pen. We have a lot of coverage for them here so that we don't have to worry about hawks too much. So they can come under here and kind of hide out from anything. And then we also have a bunch of elderberries in this pen, so you can see them here, which a lot of birds come and pick off all of the elderberries. We also have sunflowers growing in here, which drop and make great food for the chickens. There's some of the chickens are. So we've got sunflowers. There were some like tomato plants and stuff growing in here. And then we got the garden. The garden is pretty much in full swing right now. We've got our sweet potato bed over here. Not sure if everybody knows, but sweet potato leaves are actually edible. They're a great source of potassium. And so you can you pick them and put them in your salad. The big ones get very, very bitter. So if you do this, you want the nice tiny ones. Those are the ones that are perfect to eat. They do have a relatively strong flavor for a green. More like a spinach or a kale than a lettuce. But I like them. Got tomatoes in season. We got Swiss chard, cucumbers. Somebody picked cucumbers and left them here. The strawberries are all done for the season. Raspberries are all done for the season. Right now we're in blackberries, so we've been picking those. Elderberries will be coming in soon. Blueberries are all done. Here's the elderberries here. So if nobody's ever seen elderberries, this is how elderberries grow. Lots of tiny little berries, all in one cluster. And those are edible and have lots of great nutrients in them. We got some yarrow. This is where we're moving our blackberries to. Oh, here's some. So this is ready to be picked. You can already see how many the birds have gotten. So we'll just clip it right here and then bring this whole thing in, take all of the berries off, and we like elderberry pancakes is how we eat a lot of our elderberries. But this is the blackberries. We're moving them out of the back space and moving them into these beds. And then the peaches are pretty much done too. There's just a few peaches left on the trees. And we've been picking those and getting those. We've been eating a lot of them, but we also freeze some. So there's another one over there. Later, Chad. Thanks for hopping on. So that's what's going on over here. We've got cantaloupe growing in this bed. More blueberries there. We've got tomatoes, rows of tomatoes. Oh, that plant didn't make it. This is the raspberries here, so we don't have these anymore. This is where the old blackberries were, and we we're in the process of moving them, but as you can see, there's still lots of old plants and lots of blackberries. But it was just too difficult to keep weeded. We used to mulch it all, and we didn't this year. I don't really know why. That's a big old blackberry. Over here we've got spaghetti squash, golden zucchini, dill, green zucchini, more raspberries. Who takes care of the bees? Hewitt takes care of the bees. He's the one who's in charge of that. Dad has taken care of them in the past, but passed that off to Hewitt. Picking more blackberries to eat. We've got peppers, corn, just sweet corn, beans. We like our beans. And then we've got a bunch of cool flowers. We planted a lot of dahlias this year. We got some sunflowers, like this one. We had some gladiolas that actually bloomed this year. They were really pretty. This one you can see the sunflowers are actually, or the sunflower seeds are actually getting pretty close to being ready to harvest. We've got canna, some basil, this is comfrey. We've got comfrey there, more canna, more sunflowers, more corn. We've got some beans coming up. This is my bed here. So we've got some beans coming up. We planted some carrots. Those are just starting to come up. Our onions all need to be harvested. So we have new chicks in. So we've got like our full-size chickens, and then we have lots of little chicks. These are Buff Orpingtons. And they are finally big enough to be outside, so they get to run around outside now. Marcia says, breakfast on the go. Yep, I don't really eat breakfast. I just kind of walk through the garden and snack. You know, sometimes pull up a carrot. Sometimes I'm weird. I eat tomatoes whole like an apple. So sometimes I'll just grab a tomato for breakfast. These are the rabbits. So we actually had a litter of rabbits not that long ago. I don't know. Is it a litter of rabbits? Is it a litter? Is it a... I don't think it's a kidding, even though they're bucks and does. I actually have no clue what a rabbit birth is called. But you can see some of these guys are relatively young. Oh, and here's the other. There it is. These are the ones that were just born not that long ago. Cute little babies. So as you can see, we haven't gotten to the stalls this morning. Shockingly, it's what, 7:30 in the morning. But here are the little ones. They're super cute. They're all running outside. So that's the rabbits. And that brings us back to the barns. So that's kind of what's going on this morning. I just wanted to get on and kind of share that with you guys. Mary's coming to say hey. I hope you guys have a great day, and I wanted to share this beautiful morning with you. Love the farm tour. It's been a while since we've seen everything. Yeah, so we didn't make it out to the big barn, but I didn't feel like walking out there, and I've got a lot of other stuff to do today, so we're not going to make it out there. But that's what's going on. Make sure you guys tune in. Tomorrow is the release of the first episode of Other Side of the Fence. So make sure you tune into that. That's going to be, I believe, at 5 o'clock. So super excited to be able to share that with you guys. But make sure you get to view that video, and please do share that. Send it to the people who you think will enjoy it, and encourage them to share it as well. It is important for us that this does make it out there and people do get to see it. We've put a lot of effort into it, and we want to be able to share it with as many people as possible. So thank you guys in advance for all of that and for everything you do for us. And we hope you guys have a great rest of your day. All right, bye guys.